Hey, welcome back, man. Welcome to Locker Room Talk with Jitim Young. I'm your boy, Mr. Wildcat, Mr. Northwestern Chicago legend, Hall of Famer Jitim Young. And in the locker room, I got my brother. You see me representing him. Michigan State Spartans on a legend, man. I got Kelvin Torbert in the locker room. You know what I mean? My man, hey, you beat me my last college game, so I had to come out and represent. I had to have a Spartan on my chest. I know you wish you had me as a teammate.
All the time, man. We heard so many stories from you about Coach. How he was so tough, and we need to play with the heart you played with. I'm like, come on, that's my guy, but come on, man, you can't be down to us.
Yeah, man. I always tell Coach Izzo, man. I was like, man, Coach, I love you, man. I always think about, man, you know what I mean, like just kind of going through that process back there for me, because I came out the year before you, and I like my visit. I love Mateen. Mateen was my host, and I actually was like, man, yo, I want to come here. And then Kevin O'Neill was just like telling Coach Izzo, he our Mateen Cleaves. He from Chicago, so we want your team to be our Mateen Cleaves. And then I just like, I'm gonna go to Northwestern. But every year I was like, man, I love this school. Every time I came there, it felt like home. And that's why I think I always played well, because it just felt like a family. It just felt good. You felt the good energy being there. How was it for you being in Michigan State? What was it like as a student, as just being around that campus and everything?
I mean, it was definitely the family atmosphere that we pump and we sell. Like, I mean, if you see it now, I mean, even basketball players was cool with football players, and we was cool with wrestlers and everything. Everything was just so much family oriented. Everybody hung out with each other. Everybody supported each other. So, like you said, it felt like being at home. It felt like being at home,
Right.
like you were at the crib with cousins and stuff like that. So it was a very homely situation. So I think that's what made it comfortable for a lot of us, and that's why a lot of us got along so well. I mean, we never really had any problems with each other. We all loved each other, and we wanted to see everybody do well.
Yeah. And before you even got to East Lansing, I mean, you from, one of the most respected cities of basketball players from Flint, Michigan. Now, just take us through that journey where, you in high school, you one of the top high school players in the universe. Forget the USA. You one of the top high school players in the universe. You're McDonald's All American. Talk about what it's like playing basketball and growing up in Flint.
Um, it's a learning experience, man. It's tough. It teaches you how to be tough, man. Because definitely my era growing up, the biggest thing you wanted to do was be one of the young guys that can get on the main court with the big fellas, with the older
Yeah,
guys.
right.
So I mean, finally, when I got a chance to play with those guys, seventh, eighth grade, like when I was younger, I was known as they all knew my brother because my brother was year, 2 years older than Mateen, them, same age as Tony on them. So I was always known as Little LG. So everybody always called me Little LG. Till I finally got to about seventh, eighth grade, and I was able to play with them, and I could fit in. So then it was like, okay, now he's KT. Like now he got his own
Right.
name. He could do his own thing, and that was one of the biggest things to me. Like as much as I did in high school and going to college, that was one of the biggest stepping stones for me. So for me to be able to get on the court with Mateen and Morris and Antonio and those guys as a seventh grader and be able to compete and play with those guys. That was like
Right.
making it to the league here, being able to play on the main court with guys and being invited to the runs where Jeff Grayer and all the older guys came back. That was pros back
Right.
then, like the Glenn Rice and them. And for you to get the call to come play with them when you're seventh, eighth grade, that meant the biggest to me. I mean, that was like y'all era being able to play when if Twan Walker and all them guys came back and you
Right.
seventh, eighth grade, you got invited to the run. You're like, oh yeah, this
True.
big for me. And that
Right.
was
Yeah.
one of the
That's
biggest things for
exactly
me
how it
coming
was.
out.
Yeah, that's exactly how it was when Jawan Howard and all those guys, Antoine and Michael Finley was at hoops,
Mm-hmm.
and Tim Grover, who was Michael Jordan trainer. I know you know because you've been in all the big circles and stuff. Was calling and telling me like, come down, and it's so funny because you could get cut from that open run if Tim
Man,
Grover see you
quick.
stick out the place. Tim will be like, don't ever come here again. Work on your game before you come up to this level. But that never happened to me, and it obviously never happened to you. When you got that call to become a McDonald's All-American, were you? I mean, I guess for a lot of people they'll be like, "Oh my God!" But for you, you was like for the longest, you was like the #1 high school player in the world. But did you still feel those butterflies of excitement, or was it just like you were like, I kind of knew this anyway? So how did you feel when you got that call from McDonald's?
I mean, but when I got it, it was like, okay, I knew it was coming, just was waiting on it.
Okay.
But the build-up, all the build-up going into it was the excitement, you know, because, I mean, after finally getting on the scene my freshman and sophomore year, I was highly ranked, but it was just the leading up to it. I mean, I think the biggest summer I had was between my junior and senior year in high school, where me and one of my high school teammates, James Murdoch, I was like, man, we got to work hard. We're going to do all this. We're going to do that. We're going to work on this so I can win Mr. Basketball. And, like, he stopped me right there. He said, bro, we're not doing this for you to win Michigan basketball. He said, you're going to win that. He was like, we finna work for you can win a National Player of the Year. He's like, we finna stop this small thinking you're not finna be Mr. Basketball. You finna be the National Player of the Year. And it registered me like, okay, let's do that. Stop thinking small and thinking the statewide, knowing you've not been around the country and played against all the top guys. Shoot for that top spot. Shoot for that National Player of the Year. And that was one of the biggest sayings somebody said to me. Definitely somebody that was my age, one of my peers that looked at it wider than I did. And I was the one that was doing all the traveling and playing around. And I think that was a big step for me. That really changed my mindset my senior year. I mean, I think a lot of people that played me in high school my senior year said I came back with a whole different mindset. Like, I just want to destroy everybody. And I think that put me in that junior and senior year. And I think just having that talk with a teammate, just having somebody, one of your brothers tell you that, it means a lot. And then you know you got a backing with you, especially around here in the city.
Well, yeah, because I remember I was a freshman when you was a senior in high school. And, like, I really didn't know where you was going to go. I mean, I don't, I didn't really know, but I knew you was coming. I had an idea you was coming to the Big Ten, but it was rumors that, like, Kelvin Torbert might not even make it to college. He might just go ahead and make that jump and just go straight to the NBA. What made you change your mind?
I think just the unsurety and just being young, so young at that stage. And it was, I mean, you know how the league was when we were in college. It was mostly veterans. Like, it wasn't a young league like now. And just the unsurety of being not knowing, because, guards didn't do it. Guards didn't really jump to the league. I mean, besides Kobe, T-Mac, guards wasn't going straight to the league. So, I mean, we knew Tyson and Eddie was going. And then Kwame came about, and it was like, we didn't know. It was a lot of unsurety. I'm pretty sure probably Wag say the same thing, because I think we both wanted to jump. And it was just uncertainty with guards of jumping to the league. So, I mean, I think that made it tough on me. And then it was a situation. I mean, my dad was getting sick, so it was going to be hard for me, because, going in 17, 18, you needed somebody with you. And I also knew my dad couldn't travel, so I'm like, okay, I'm really going to be on my own, So it was a really tough situation. I was in the air about it for a while, for probably 5. That's why I committed early, but I wasn't really committed to going to school. And it was probably 4 or 5 months I was really up in the air about it, just going through my whole senior year.
Yeah, so was it easy to choose Michigan State because of Mateen and Charlie and Morris Peterson? Was Michigan did Glenn Rice ever try to get you to go to Michigan?
Yeah, Glenn made a late push. But it wasn't. I mean, as much as people think, it wasn't really a Michigan State. It wasn't a sure thing, because at the time, one of my high school teammates was at UConn. So UConn and Cincinnati was real big choices for me. So it was really a 3-school race. And UConn had a pretty decent team that year. It was Karan Butler and My buddy was Johnny Selby, who was there, and Ben Gordon and Mika Okafor was coming in same year as me. And like they had a really, really nice team with some depth and stuff. And that was a real big option. And Cincinnati was very appealing too, because this was the year that Kenyon Martin's National Player of the Year, and
I remember
Lamar
that.
Johnson, those guys, and we knew they were leaving, so it was that was a real tough one too, whether to go there or everything. And I think it was the biggest thing going from it was the Mateen and those guys, and knowing how family oriented it was there, and being close to home, and just the unsurety of those other places, not knowing and not having many people there was a very large barrier on me to overlook.
Yeah, because I remember I was just like, you guys had a game in Northwestern your senior year for an All-Star game. I think it was the Jordan game. It was one of them games, but
The round ball,
the round ball class. Yeah, and I went and saw you. And I was like, hey, I think he's gonna go to Michigan State. I'm like, man, he is so good. And I remember just kind of talking to you after the game, just like, good luck to you. I still didn't know what decision he was gonna make, because Eddie made his decision to go to the NBA. And I knew Eddie growing up in Chicago and everything like that. And I knew Tyson from Nike All-American Camp, and everything like that. Before we go into like your Michigan State experience just playing for Izzo, your boy Kwame Brown, is this his personality? Because I've never seen Kwame. Like I know Kwame from working out with him in Chicago when he used to come work out with Tim Grover and Jordan. We would work out in the summer, but he was always cool. I never seen him with this clap back. Like anybody can get it. What is your response to seeing your mans in them, your classmate, coming at people's neck like this?
Honestly, I'm happy for him, man. Kwame was he was a down south quiet kid, man, and he didn't really say much, man. He just really wanted to play ball. I'm gonna give him credit. He just wanted to play ball. He didn't talk junk. He didn't do none of that. And for him to see him to really stand up for himself now, I'm proud of him, because he has got attacked a lot, man, over the years, and some of the situations is not his fault, and some of them come to an AR, but he came into a tough situation, man, and I don't think we all look at that. Like, it's not easy. Like, you've been around when you had runs when Mike showed up. It's not easy when Mike come around in that gym. It's not easy when Kobe in that gym. Those are two of the toughest guys to be teammates with and to play for. And like, they have a different leadership roles. Like, they're gonna test you. They're gonna attack you. They're gonna attack your manhood, attack your pride, to see how tough you are. That's the way they lead. And it was hard for Kwame. I mean, coming in 18, 19, playing with a Kobe Bryant at 21, 22, stuff like that, it was tough on him. And I think he I wouldn't say he was dealt a bad hand, but he was put in a tough situation. And I don't think we all give him credit for that, for him still playing the league 12, 13 years.
12 years,
around and being on teams, being starting center, the backup center, and that's still tough to do, man. That's still tough to do. And even going through what he went through and being called a bust probably 5, 6 of those last years is really tough.
Right. Yeah. Nah, I said, I met Kwame. Me and Kwame kicked it for a whole summer, and it was fun being around him and everything. And actually, he'll pull me to the side and be like, when you come off the pick and roll, look at this and look at that. And he'll tell me, like, man, matter of fact, he was one of the people that told me, like, man, you would have fit Michigan State system perfectly. He was like, man, I seen you he told me he'd see me in Northwestern playing and everything like that. And, how you like my game, and then just playing with him, like working out with him with Grover, he just showed a lot of love. So I felt the same way. Like, when I was hearing his responses, like you talking about a guy who the number one high school player, the first high school player ever to go number one, who just had to withstand so much and showed his toughness. But then for him to like really start responding to people, that's the side I know he had. But just like to your point, man, I'm really glad that he really stood up for himself and said his piece. And Like, man, I'm a grown man now, man. All that little kid stuff, that's out the window. Like, you come for
Right.
me, I'm coming back for you. So,
Exactly.
man, he been giving people the business. I've been tuned in. Trust me.
Yeah, it's
For
good
real.
for him. It's funny because that you brought it up. Me and Julius Hodge was just talking about it probably 3-4 days ago, man, online. It's like, we know Kwame had all these jokes, man. He would have made
Yeah.
my game that much funnier, man. He'd have came lighting people up like this, man.
Yeah, lighten
And
them up.
it's good for him, man. He need to get that off his chest, and like, I mean, you can just tell he's so mature. He's matured so much, and
Right.
I'm just happy for him, man. I know everybody. Some people don't like it. Some people do. I'm proud because he never ever used to speak up for himself, and for him to stand
Yeah.
up and say his piece, I'm glad. I'm proud of it.
Yeah, man. Shout out to Julius Hodge, man. I remember playing against him in the Big Ten ACC Challenge when he was
Yeah,
at North Carolina State. Long PG. He was nice. That's what.
right.
Yeah, that was he was a good competitor. I like that. Man, you at Michigan State, and we just get right into this to success, man. You a Big Ten champ. Um, you playing at a high level. You guys make it to the Final Four. Like, take me through that whole time, that whole period. What was campus like? What was Coach Izzo like going through that as you guys get ready to become Big Ten champs? As you guys getting ready for the NCAA tournament, going to the Final Four? What is it like to play for Tom Izzo?
Um, honestly, it teaches, man. It teaches you to be a man because he's gonna test you, and a lot of people say he's gonna break you down. But once you realize it, it's not him breaking you down. It's really him challenging you. Like even recently, games they see on TV, like they seen a dispute between him and a player. It's not him coming at. It was just him challenging players. He challenges you. He's gonna challenge you, and he's gonna try to pull the best out of you. So, I mean, I think just going through those 4 years was great, man. I mean, we only made it to one Final Four, which I mean, in the sophomore year, we could have made it to another one. We just ended up losing the TJ Ford and the Texas team right before
Yeah,
playing Carmelo and them. So I
right.
think we had some great years, man. Some great players, man. Some great attitudes because we all went through a lot, and man, and we competed a lot. I mean, definitely our senior year, man. We had some. We was deep, and especially on that wing, man, playing the guard. Me, Mo Ager, Shannon Brown, Allen
Yeah,
Anderson,
yeah.
Chris
Tough,
Hill,
tough.
Nigel, man, we was deep on that wing, and I think we had a great year. It was just Illinois had an even better year, so
Right.
that was the toughest thing for us, man. We went 14-2 and finished second in the Big Ten because
Yeah.
Illinois went 15-1 or 27-1 on the whole year. So it was
Right.
like we still had a good year, man. It was a tough time playing those. That senior year was really tough. I mean, luck finally ended up getting beat by North Carolina in the Final Four, but I
Yeah.
think we were still one of the only teams that actually beat Kentucky and Duke in the same weekend. So
Right.
I mean, that says a lot for our team, man. Go out and beat Kentucky, Duke, and then turn around and have to play North Carolina next weekend. I mean, that's three of the national powerhouse schools that you went
True.
through just in that tournament, just to make it and prove it. And I think
Yeah, I
that
was
says a
so
lot for
proud of
our
y'all.
team.
I watched that tournament. I mean, obviously D. Luther, Roger Powell, all these Chicago guys. I know Darren was over there,
Mm-hmm.
but like, I was happy. And then looking at you, Shannon, Allen Anderson, all my guys from Michigan State. I always call Michigan State my second home. But like, you guys I was just so proud because I was at this time I was in Phoenix my rookie year, and then I had went overseas to Greece. So I'm overseas watching y'all. I'm staying up because the time difference over there. I'm
Right.
watching y'all play, and I'm up like 3, 4 in the morning, like, let's go, KT. I see you
Right.
out here. I know people like, man, who is this up at 3 o'clock in the morning? And I got practice at 8 the next day. But I ain't
Right.
even, I'm like, man, I'm just sucking up for this one. Yeah, but
Man,
y'all,
exactly.
that run was amazing, man. And I think people are, especially like, we live in a more sensitive time now where, you see it in AAU, you see it in high school. Parents won't let their kids get coached. I felt, and even as I reflect on like when I came out of high school, Coach Izzo was the perfect fit for me And in this way, I grew up in a tough background, just like you growing up in Flint. He is the type of personality and the type of wisdom that you got from the people that gave us wisdom and was the personality for us. I didn't grow up in no environment where it was like, all right, Jitim, hey, it's okay. No, I grew up in a let me challenge you. What are you gonna do? That's
Right.
and I appreciate that style of coaching. You know, I can appreciate a Bobby Knight for that toughness, that style of coaching that they had. And a lot of people get that misconstrued. And I was surprised because I watched NBA on TNT with Kenny and Charles them, and Kenny Smith said, "Tom Izzo, the problem." I'm like, Kenny, how can you even say that when this is a Hall of Fame coach telling a kid who he want to succeed what to do, even if it's not my fault. And I know we made a mistake at the end of the half where a kid made a shot. I'm expecting to get yelled at because somebody blew an assignment. Even if I didn't blow an assignment, we blew it. So we all deserve to get yelled at for that. And it's just sad that as I'm seeing in today's AAU and high school and parenting, they're not letting their kids get coached the way they need to get coached. And that sucked to me.
Yeah, yeah, we talk about this a lot, man, the errors and stuff, and especially this AAU stuff is like whenever a parent don't like the coaching, is I'm taking my kid to another team. I'm yanking my kid going to another team. It was never that. We never could do that. Once you got on the team, you got on the team. Whether you
Right.
lost some minutes, you lost some minutes. Or you lost your spot, you lost your spot. You fought to get it back. You fought to get those minutes back. It was never like I say this with my kid now. Like it's never about running from the challenge or the competition. And even me and Mateen say this to this day to both our sons. Accept the challenge. That's all we say.
Right.
We see a kid coming at him, they ain't playing no defense. Accept the challenge. Guard him.
Yeah.
Step up. Get a stop. Go at him. Get a bucket. Like we're not gonna never dodge the competition or dodge
Right.
the adversity. That's what make these kids better. A lot of these
Yeah.
kids, even the good kids that's been they went through some adversity. They've been knocked down. Like the best players, the best kids, and the best hoop players all been through adversity. They all got a
Right.
story. Everybody been through some adversity. If you can meet a kid that haven't been through adversity, it's gonna be tough. I mean, even the Steph Currys and Klay Thompsons, that was kids of NBA players. They've been through stuff. Like you know the MO they say Steph is soft. Steph ain't soft. You can see how he
Nah, he
attack
not.
guys. They get the light skin stuff and all that fool. Steph is one of the toughest kids out there. He gonna challenge you. He gonna pound his chest. He gonna do all that, and that's what a lot of parents get it misconstrued because they see these kids and think they all had it easy. No, all of them had tough rides. Everybody had adversity, man. So I think that's what they were robbing from these kids of going through the adversity and being able to be down so you can get back up. And we can't just run every time something goes wrong.
Yeah. Well, you got Spartans in the NBA right now. We watching the NBA playoffs, and
Mm-hmm.
we seen Draymond with a triple double against you saw Xavier and
Mm-hmm.
Jaren Jackson, and then last night both played well and got the win. Just kind of talk about like with what you're seeing from these guys that are now in the NBA. Like how does it make you feel? And are you going back every summer? Are the guys coming back every summer? And is everybody at Michigan State working out together? Are these watching the success of these guys? Are you like kind of surprised by it, or do you see it in the summer that they're going to have successful seasons based off of kind of the fraternity that you guys have at Michigan State?
Definitely. Definitely everybody comes back and plays in the summer. You see the development in some of those guys. And I think even a guy like X has surprised a lot of people. But we've seen that. We've been seeing that
Right.
during the summer. We've seen how talented Jaren Jackson could be, man. Like he can be one of since I met him as an 11, 12-year-old, he's been the toughest kid and just wanted to challenge anybody. So
Hey, KT, I think you muted. KT, unmute your mic. I think your sound went out for a second. All right, yeah. So KT coming back. KT was talking about. All right, KT, you back. There you go. Your
You hear
sound
me?
perfect. Y'all
Okay.
can hear you. Yeah, you were talking about like you saw Jaren Jackson when he was like, 11, 12, and you see like what his potential can be. Like, what do you see his potential as being?
I see Jaren can be really good, man. He can really be good. I wouldn't say to the KG type level, but he has those type skills where he can
Intangibles, yeah. I
he
see
can
that too.
guard 4 or 5 spots. He can switch on a guard screen. I mean, one of the best plays I've seen when he switched on Steph Curry against the Warriors. Steph tried to beat him baseline and Jaren ripped him. Like you don't
Right,
see that
yeah.
out of a little 6'11" 4-man. And
Yeah.
I mean, just for those guys that adjustments they're doing, they're playing with, and a guy like X, which is following in the footsteps of, he looks up to a guy like Day being able to guard 4 positions and do the stuff like that. And Day just been Day for years, man. He's been like that since he was 14 years old. So
right.
And Miles Bridges has really came along, and
Woo,
I know
that dunk he had. Woo.
Hey, we've been seeing that for years in the summer. Him coming down that middle and everybody getting out the way. Man, that's the Miles we know and seen for years, man.
Yeah, he be dunking. I mean, him and LaMelo Ball is a good. They gonna be a nice little 1-2 combination for a long time. You know, he got kind of that Larry Johnson in this game a little bit. But as Bridges keep staying in that gym, keep working on this game, and Melo, that Charlotte team, they're moving forward. They're gonna be tough. They just got to keep growing up. For real. Yeah, that Charlotte team gonna be good with him. It's a boy at Michigan State right now that remind me of Bridges. You can hear me?
Can you hear me? I can't hear you.
I can hear you perfectly. I can hear you perfectly. Yeah. There you go. You back. Can you hear me?
I can't hear. Hold on.
Oh, you can't hear me? Hold on. Let me see. All right. Getting these technical difficulties out the way. You can still hear me or not?
I can't hear you, Tim.
Because I can't. All right, hold on, wait. All right, can you hear me now?
I still can't hear you.
You can't hear me? Hey. Hold on. Let me test it real quick. All right, we talking with Kelvin Torbert. Look like we having some technical difficulties, and we're gonna get those fixed right now. So we got KT coming back. Like KT, we can hear you. I can hear you perfect. All right, we're gonna have him log out. He gonna log out and log back in, and he gonna hit the restream back in. All right, Kevin Torbert is back to action. All right, can you hear now?
Yep, I'm back. I can hear you.
Yeah, then we talking about. Hey, I was thinking, I was like, yeah, you're gonna have to log out and then log back in.
Yeah, that's how I do.
Yeah. But yeah, Miles Bridges and that Charlotte team, they going in the right direction. Him and LaMelo Ball, they're gonna be a nice 1-2 punch. He got a little Larry Johnson, a little grandma in this game.
Yeah,
he said if he keep coming back to Michigan State in the summer, working on the stuff he needs to work on, he's gotten better every year. So you know he's putting the work in. I think Miles Bridges could take that next leap for sure. He could definitely take that next step in this game. But they were right there. Ball got hurt. They obviously the boy from Butler, Hayward.
Yeah,
he got hurt too. And yeah, they missed the playoffs, but they right there. Like they really are. and it's a boy at Michigan State right now that reminds me of Bridges, Aaron, Henry Aaron or something like that.
Henry, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, something like
Henry.
that boy. He reminds me of Bridges a little bit. What? He's going pro right this year.
Yep.
What do you like about his game? Like describe him as a player.
The best thing about him, he's really well rounded. I think the biggest thing he got to work on is probably his shooting, just like Miles had to first coming out. But
Right.
I think Aaron's a little bit better with the ball right now than Miles is.
Yeah.
And Miles is way more explosive and stronger. And I think Aaron's probably a better defender, probably quicker on smaller guys. But Aaron has a lot of intangibles, man. It's he can be a good kid. He can be a great wing if he I think it's all mental for him. As long as he keep his confidence up and keep working hard, he can make a fine niche for himself in the league, man. I can see him doing really well. I mean, even kind of like the Dylan Brooks type kid for Memphis.
That's a good comparison.
He's one of those guys, a 6'6"
That's
guy
a great comparison.
Can defend and gotten a lot better shooting the ball since he got to the league. So, I mean, I think that's a kid that's a guy he can look at and see.
Even like your little brother that went to Denver. I think he in Orlando now. He could kind of try to look at his role and try to mimic him.
Yeah, Gary Harris.
Gary Harris.
Found a great niche, man. Being able to guard a 3-and-D type guy, long, active, can play. Yeah, that's a great comparison too. He could look at for a model of being in the league.
But body type, Brooks got him and Brooks got the same type of body type.
Yeah,
so
they do.
That's and I'm sure he's got amazing people around him, but that type of guy and Harris should definitely be who Henry look up to. You know what I mean, the league. So man, hey man, I told you this show was gonna be fire. You amazing as always. We done battled. You know what? How's my boy Trenton doing? I miss him, man. That's my guy. I used to talk trash to him. I'd be like, both a better football player than you. And I hoop like that. He used to just laugh. Like, man, get out of here.
Matt, that was my guy, man. We grew up together since we was 5-6 years old, man. He's actually he's staying out in Arizona now. He's actually he's a teacher and stuff down there. He stays right by the Phoenix area. So I talked to Matt earlier, man. He just texted me and stuff, man. We still keep in touch, man. That was my guy, man. Truck training, baby. Matt.
Yeah. Hey, tell him I said what's up next time you talk to him. Tell him I said what's up, and I asked about him. Hey man, that's my boy, man. Like I love y'all boys so much. I promise you, it feel like even though I went to Northwestern, it feel like, man, like I went to Michigan State. And I just got a super soft spot in my heart for you Spartans and everything like that. Man, what's going on with you before we get out of here? Just tell the people what's going on with you. You know, what are you up to? You still around the game? What's up with Kelvin Torbert?
Right now, man, I'm just really just working and helping out with my kid. He's playing now. He's 12, so they got a travel team that he's playing with now from the Lansing area, and I'm just helping out with them a little bit here and there. And I know in the fall I'm gonna go back. I'm actually going back to team up with Mateen and Charlie and all those guys, and we all gonna work in the same place for one of our former teammates, Matt Ishbia. He got the United Shore Mortgage Company, which is real big. So most of us are gonna end up working there. I know Mateen's there, Charlie's there, Chris Hill's there. I don't know if you remember Adam Wolf.
I do remember Big Wolf. Yeah. He blocked my float at one time.
Yeah. So it's a lot of guys that's there with him now. So it's fun, man. We actually trying to get the bunch back together and start a team in that world, in the mortgage world.
Yeah. Well, if y'all got any birthday parties, whatever, man, let me know. I'm on the first thing. Matter of fact, it's only a 3.5 hour drive from Chicago to East Lansing or to wherever you at. I'm definitely coming. I'm definitely coming down there, boy. Man, as always, man, it's great seeing you. And man, we'll definitely be in touch for sure.
Okay, no doubt.
All right, my brother.
All right.
Yep. All right, yo. That was Kelvin Torbert, Michigan State Spartan, just McDonald's All-American, one of the best players in the country, class of 2001 out of high school. Went to the Final Four with Michigan State in 2005. This is Let's Talk About It. Shy, this is Locker Room Talk with Jitim Young. I'm your boy, Mr. Wildcat, Mr. Northwestern, Mr. Big Ten, Jitim Young, Catholic League Hall of Famer, Chicago legend. And here we bring the experience of what it feel like being inside the locker room. This is what it's like with players and former players and pros and greatness that comes through the locker room to sit down and talk with me. We sorry for the technical difficulties. We'll try to get those kinks kind of fixed and squared away. But thank you for joining us. Thank you for watching. And until next time, whatever you do it to the best of your ability. And God bless. Peace.